KGUN 9 on your side, live at 5, starts right now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pat Paris.
And I'm Valerie Cavazos. The number of children being held in each immigrant shelter has soared over the past few years, bringing with it a number of issues.
Yeah, as the year draws to a close, more than 14,000 immigrant children are sleeping in shelters nationwide, nearly 1,000 of those kids being held here in Arizona. That's according to government data obtained by the Associated Press. There's been concern about how long many of these children have been kept at these facilities, and it's led to a variety of behavioral issues, including increased assaults on staff, violence among the kids, and an increase in children who said they thought about hurting themselves. There's a link of the AP's full report of the data collected on our website, kgun9.com.
And the release of this report following the reversal of a controversial policy that's affected unaccompanied migrant children. The policy put in place this summer required anyone taking in these kids needed to be fingerprinted. Well, that includes the sponsors and any adults living in the house. But immigration advocates say the extended process meant thousands of kids were kept in shelters far too long. With this reversal, only the sponsors will have to be fingerprinted and go through background checks, but the rest of the adults living in the house will not.
Tonight, people worried about eviction in Pima County may have a new place to turn for help. The county's Board of Supervisors voted to accept a $575,000 grant yesterday from the Arizona Department of Housing. That money will be given to community organizations who will distribute it to residents in need. Now, overall, the county says it can use the funds to help up to 407 families stay in their homes. The grant will target Justice Precincts 6, 8, and 9, targeted in particular at zip codes 85705 and 06, who the county says were hit hardest by evictions last year.
And we still don't know if the man accused of shooting and killing a Nogales police officer will face the death penalty. The Nogales International reports Santa Cruz County has asked for an extension to decide if they'll seek the death penalty. David Murillo is facing nearly 40 felony charges for a string of carjackings that ended in the death of Officer Jesus Cordova. Usually prosecutors have 60 days to tell the court whether they'll seek the death penalty. That deadline would have come up on Friday. The new deadline for them to decide is February 21st.
Today, Governor Doug Ducey signing a pact that will enable New Mexico to move its excess natural gas through Arizona to Sonora for eventual sale to Asia. The deal provides a new market for New Mexico, where the governor says the state has more natural gas than it can use on its own. The plan calls for the states to develop a plan to export natural gas from New Mexico's abundant supply to Asian nations, which are leading importers of liquefied gas. Both Arizona and Sonora have existing pipeline networks that could be used to help transport the fuel.
And on Capitol Hill, our elected leaders are closer to working out a deal to avoid a Christmas week government shutdown. The House is back in session today working on a solution. In the Senate, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he'll introduce a short-term bill. It would fund the government until early February. McConnell says he's confident there will not be a shutdown. President Trump has said he'd shut the government down if he didn't get funding for his border wall. Well, yesterday, the White House said the president was willing to work out a compromise. A lawmaker have until Friday to reach a deal.
Kyler Diggs in after a couple of days off. You come back just in time to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, you know what? Gotta love this. In December, yeah, temperatures approaching 80 degrees by the end of the week, and you gotta love it. Maybe that's a little early Christmas gift for some of us, especially those who have traveled here to enjoy some nice warm weather. Getting out of that cold out of the north, and right now, look at that pretty view out there as the sun is dropping below the Tucson mountains. Clear sky too, and that's going to allow temperatures to cool off pretty rapidly once the sun goes down. So don't be fooled. Go ahead and get that jacket out if you're going to be out tonight. But take a look at the temperatures right now across southeastern Arizona. 66 degrees in Tucson at the airport, 67 in Phoenix, 72 in Gila Bend and Havasu, 73 in Yuma. We made it up to 68 degrees this afternoon in Tucson. Went to 70 in Safford, 54 in Show Low. And we've got some more nice weather on the way. Let's break the numbers down for you coming in from the Tucson International Airport. Dew point, about where it usually is in December, 34 degrees, so not a lot of moisture in our atmosphere, 30% humidity, and a light north wind at 7 miles an hour, and that sun kind of splashing off the Catalinas there. Beautiful sight. Looks like we've got more beautiful weather on the way, but it is December, and you know some changes are just around the corner. We'll detail those in the 7-day.
All right, Kyler, thank you. A new Facebook investigation detailing how it shared private user information with dozens of companies.
What information the social media giant exposed and the new growing concern. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. A new privacy concern surrounding Facebook. This time it's not a breach, but involves the company deliberately providing user data to other corporations.
Chris Welch breaks this down for us and poses the question to one expert: is it about time we abandon Facebook?
Facebook once again in hot water after a report in the New York Times claimed the social network gave other tech giants the ability to read users' private communications. In a blog post, Facebook admits it gave companies like Netflix, Spotify, and the Royal Bank of Canada the ability to read, even write and delete users' private messages, but the company claims it had users' consent.
That is striking. I think it's striking, bizarre.
Security experts also concerned with another aspect of the story. Facebook is also accused of letting Microsoft's Bing search engine see the names of nearly all Facebook users' friends, and of letting Amazon obtain usernames and contact info through their friends. In light of this, and what they say is Facebook's role in voter suppression, the NAACP has taken the unusual step of calling for members to log out of Facebook for a week to send a message.
Facebook is accountable in terms of the way that they treat their community, the way they interact with the African American community. And we're saying that privacy is a huge concern for us.
But could logging off Facebook permanently be next? That's easier said than done, since Facebook has become so ingrained in our lives, says security expert John Dixon.
There's not a viable substitute, right? I mean, if you think about it, Google Plus just shut down. MySpace is gone. I mean, what's the substitute? It's a very powerful and capable platform, period.
But he does hope people change how they use the app, like no longer using the Messenger feature.
I hope that they change their behaviors in a way that make the Facebooks of the world change the way they have their business model.
I'm Chris Welch reporting.
Sounds good to me.
We shall see.
Yeah.
They're always in the news, though, aren't they? Kyler Diggs standing by, making some news with this fabulous weather.
Oh, yeah, and it's nice and tranquil out there. Look at that view from Mount Bigelow right now. But we've had some wild weather across the country. We're going to talk about that, and we've got a few changes in our own forecast, too.
And if you have stainless steel appliances in your home, you probably know the struggle of keeping it clean. Well, there's a major culprit you may not have suspected that's creating all those problems. That's coming up. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. When you think of Saturn, these iconic rings probably come to mind, but the distinctive feature could one day just disappear. NASA predicts the rings around the planet will be pulled apart by the gas giant's gravity in less than 100 million years. We'll be around for that, I think.
I think so.
While that sounds like a long time, consider this. Saturn is more than 4 billion years old, and it's looking good, isn't it? The rings are made up of ice, and NASA says the rings will create a severe flood as they break apart. A high surf advisory in effect in the Los Angeles region as waves pounded beaches.
Yeah, the waves were causing some problems on land, but surfers are eating it up. Take a listen.
Pretty much everything we live for, basically. Yeah, our whole life revolves around it.
It was fun. It was fun trying to get out there, just watching my friend go ahead, and then watching the sunrise is beautiful.
Yeah, both Ventura Beach and Hermosa Beach saw waves 8 to 12 feet high.
Wow.
I don't think so. Well, take a look at these pictures of a rare tornado that touched down outside Seattle. This morning, the sheriff's office there is describing the damage as catastrophic.
Roofs ripped off buildings and power lines down, but so far there's no reports of anyone being hurt.
When we were looking out the window at the rain, when it was just really coming down hard, we started hearing this kind of a roaring noise, and I asked my son, I said, what the heck is that? And that's about the time that the wind hit, and it just went nuts.
The Weather Service surveyed the damage today to determine just how strong the tornado was. A local meteorologist thinks the twister was in the EF2 range, meaning a wind range between 111 to 135 miles per hour. Those are strong winds, of course. We usually don't see them that strong. Kyler Diggs joins us now, and how's the day going?
I like this. This is pretty cool. You know, I can hi Pat.
Pat him on the back.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah, we
we've never
pat you
done
on the
this
back
before.
again. There you go.
Yeah. We'll pat you on the back. But hey, this is fun. Fun with Chroma Key, and we're looking at a beautiful view across the metro area right now as that sun goes down. Yeah, that was some wild weather for sure. Something very unusual that you don't see in Seattle very often. Fortunately, we didn't have anything like that across the Southwest today, but we did have some nice temperatures, and right now it's still 66 degrees in Tucson, 63 in Sierra Vista, 67 in Phoenix. It's going to be a chilly night, no doubt, though, with those temperatures dropping into the 40s as we go into the early morning hours, but it could be a lot colder at this time of the year. Take a look at this temperature trend that we've got for you. So we're going to go with a high of 75 degrees as the forecast high tomorrow, but up to 79 on Friday. Remember, that's when winter officially arrives Friday afternoon. We're going to be coming pretty close to tying some records around here. The old record high, 80 degrees in 1917 on Friday, but then we will cool it off just a little bit. But to give you a little perspective, the average high at this time of the year, 64 degrees. So definitely well above average. We'll take it, because nothing lasts forever, and it certainly won't in the 7-day forecast, as you will see. But right now, we're still in the 40s to near 50 degrees in the higher elevations, 45 in Albuquerque, 50 in Flagstaff, 73 in Yuma. Let's give you a quick look across the nation. 42 degrees right now in Washington, D.C., 54 in Dallas, 56 in San Francisco. Early tomorrow morning, we will see a lot of overnight lows dropping into the 20s and 30s from the Rockies into the Midwest. A little bit more mild there as you head on into Chicago, 41 degrees. And then for tomorrow afternoon, highs in the 30s and 40s to the north, 50s and 60s to the south. Let's give you a look at the big picture this afternoon, and we do see a low pressure system moving along the Gulf Coast there, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Let's go to the northwest where we saw that wild weather earlier this morning. Things have settled down quite a bit here, but I believe we have another video, kind of a different view of that tornado that occurred just outside of Seattle, and there it is right there. Real nice, well-defined funnel. Boy, I'll tell you, if you saw this video, you would think, it's probably from the Midwest or somewhere back there, but pretty amazing to think this occurred in the Pacific Northwest. Rare indeed. All right, let's bring it back to the radar and satellite picture for us. We've got high pressure off the coast of Baja, and that's giving us a really nice above average heat for this time of the year. But as I mentioned, it won't last forever. We will see a weather pattern change long about the time we get to Christmas. I think by Christmas night, we could actually see a little bit of valley rain and mountain snow moving back into the region. Now again, with this system, it doesn't look very impressive as far as moisture content, so we're not going to be looking for a big rain-making system or snow-making system, but certainly from Christmas night, Tuesday night into Wednesday, we could see some valley rain and mountain snow around here. Let's break it down for you. For tonight, overnight lows will drop into the 30s and 40s generally across Cochise County. A little bit cooler there in Wilcox, 29 degrees, and in 3 Points we'll drop down to 42, 39 in Nogales. Around the metro area, we will see overnight lows dipping into the lower 40s, a little cooler in Green Valley with an overnight low of 39 degrees. For tomorrow, there it is, warm temperatures once again, even in Pine Top, 64 degrees, 68 degrees in Mammoth. Take a look at Sells, 78 degrees, 75 in Phoenix and around the metro area, 74 in Vail, and 77 degrees in Oro Valley. Here's a look at the temperature trend as we head on into the weekend. It will cool off just a little bit, and then that system moves in Christmas Day and will definitely cool us off for next Wednesday with highs only into the upper 50s by that time with a chance of that valley rain and mountain snow. Let's head on back to Pat and Val.
All right. Thank you, Kyler. Thank you very much. We spend a lot of money on appliances like dishwashers, refrigerators, ranges. Well, some people spend a premium for stainless steel.
Costly indeed. The last thing we expect is for those appliances to rust. So if your stainless steel needs some cleaning, beware. As On Your Side's Mark Charter reveals, the culprit could actually be the cleaner you're using.
Why do they call it stainless when the minute you touch it, it gets covered in smudges and fingerprints? You clean and you clean, but guess what? The product used to get those stains off your beloved appliance might cause another blight, rust.
One thing people don't know is that certain cleaners, especially those that contain bleach, can actually strip away metals that are designed to protect stainless steel.
Here are a few do's and don'ts to keep your stainless stainless.
One thing you want to make sure to do is clean your stainless steel appliances with a mild soap and a soft cloth and always dry them off when you're done.
Don't use disinfectants, abrasives, or cleaners that contain bleach, alcohol, ammonia, or chlorides, all of which can harm stainless.
Do make sure to check the label on any cleaning supplies you use in your kitchen. Certain things like grout cleaner contain muriatic acid, and even the fumes can cause the finish on your stainless steel to wear down prematurely.
Don't use steel wool or scrub pads. They can scratch the surface.
Do wipe down your stainless steel appliances occasionally with a stainless steel cleaner. The mineral oil in them can actually restore the protective finish and help them last longer.
But don't use a dish rag because it can actually contain food oils, and if they're acidic, they can wear away the protective finish.
Do make sure you know what you're buying. Non-magnetic stainless steel generally contains nickel, and that tends to be more rust resistant.
Mark Charter, KGUN 9, on your side.
See, I didn't know any of that.
No, that's interesting.
Consumer Report says if you do have rust on your appliances, you can use equal parts baking soda and water to gently scrub and have your stainless steel sparkling again.
But be careful not to scratch.
That's right.
That's really easy to do.
Yeah, that is. A nation's largest grocery chain stepped into the driverless delivery market.
Yeah, where in Arizona this technology is being tested. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. Overcoming childhood cancer. Tonight at 6, a cancer survivor is achieving her dream of helping other cancer patients here in Tucson. How a new college scholarship program is helping her. That's coming up tonight at 6.
You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
A trip to the grocery store for essentials doesn't have to involve you driving at all.
Yeah, Kroger unveiled the future in an autonomous vehicle with the sole purpose of delivering groceries to your doorstep. Startup Neuro developed the bots called R1S for the job. The driverless bots travel on public road just like other vehicles, but they look a little different, as you can see. Packed inside is your order, ready to be met curbside for unloading. Yeah, Val, you do have to unload it yourself.
Oh.
The service costs a flat fee of $5.95 for same or next day service. The program is currently being tested at one store, and that is in Scottsdale.
And that's robots are coming next.
Yes.
Bring them in. All right. You may not know this. It's National Returns Day. And fittingly, UPS expects to handle 1.5 million returns today alone. The company says online shopping is helping to keep business up. It says returns used to be an after Christmas thing. Now it starts with Black Friday. UPS says it'll get another wave of returns in a couple of weeks. And the company expects to deliver 800 million packages over this year's holiday season.
Wow.
They're busy.
That's a lot of packages. Kyla Diggs will have one last look at your weather when we continue.
You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. I'm hoping for 80 degrees on first day of
Tie
winter.
the record, right?
Yes.
I know. Well, you know,
Yeah.
if you're going to get that close, you might as well just go ahead and tie it or break it.
Yes.
So, yeah, we will come close. Now, winter officially arrives. The solstice occurs at 3:23 Friday afternoon. We will be close to 80, 79 degrees. If we work hard enough, we can boost it up there.
We could try.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Tom.
joining us.
We'll see you at 6.